Hey guys, Happy New Year 2022. Here we are. I just want to say this will be a crossover year for you, for many of us. That's, I'm not for sure if that's going to be my word this year, but that was sent to me in a text message with somebody that I hold highly in a highly position in the Lord that speaks into my life. And that was in the text message. This will be a crossover year. 2022 will be a crossover year for me and my husband. And I'd like to also give that word out to you as well today. I'm just going to go back to 2020, 2019. I want to do a little reflection today. But if you followed me any at all, you know this is the Be Ministry YouTube channel. I am Sheila Texter. I am an author, life coach. I'm an evangelist. I'm a pastor's wife. I'm an encourager, an inspirational, motivational speaker. Now, I've not really been out doing nothing. I haven't been doing no traveling or nothing like that. I can't say that I was doing it even before the COVID hit. I definitely haven't been doing it during the COVID. But you know what? I'm not discouraged. I'm not frustrated with it. My eyes are on God. My eyes are on God. And let me encourage you today, too. Put your eyes on God and let Him carry you through this uncertainty, this crazy season that we're in. But I just want to kind of go back to 2019 and kind of just reflect a little bit on my journey. And really this content, this video today, it will be a more like a journey of telling you to don't quit. Don't quit. Keep pressing on, keep going on. But I started my first book in 2019. Now, inspiring people, turning my life around, that actually started in 2014. I picked up a book in August of 2014. I never was a reader before, but I started reading that day, and it forever changed my world, and I've not quit reading since. Now, I don't get to read as much as I would like to, because there comes a time that you got to quit reading and quit learning and start doing. Now, you never really quit learning. You'll learn as you go. But we'll never be 100% ready. You just have to start. The old saying, one step is the first step is a journey of 1,000 miles. You've got to start. And you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And also, my motto has been for several years, ever since I found this little quote, and it's by Nelson Mandela: I never lose. Either I win or I learn. And that's what I've done over the last 3 years. I started writing my first book in 2019, a memoir called Life After the Mistake, New Beginnings. It was published in 2020 in the middle of the summer, and considering we were almost right in the middle of the COVID season, I still did really well with this book and sold a good 200 or more copies, and I did really, really good, and still are selling a few on Amazon today. But anyway, so this come out in 2020. This came out at the end of 2020, How to Be Prosperous. Now, this little book has had a facelift. Now, it did have a different color, a different cover, but with doing this other thing that I did in 2021, it kind of made me go back and relook and revisit the covers and things on these books. So now I have this one, How to Be Prosperous, How to Be Intentional. And as you can see the covers, they kind of have the same design. They got the same fonts, and they're 31-day journals, devotional prayer journals and all that. So they're going to have the same look. They're just going to be a little bit different colors. And so that's what my plan is to do that. I'm planning on having 12 of these. I am on my third one right now. And hopefully it will be ready by the end of February. I've got 2 more days left. My editor is already working on it. So hopefully by the end of February, it will be ready. And it's going to be red for February because of February. All right, guys, this here, I did this in 2021. Now, I have to tell you that God didn't tell me to do this. I can't even really tell you that God's told me to do these. I'm just trying to do something. I'm trying to give back. I'm trying to leave something for my children and my grandchildren. I'm not writing these devotionals so I can get rich. I'm not writing these devotionals so I can say that I'm an author. It just kind of came after I started reading back in 2014. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's that journey. Some serendipities, they begin to happen when you begin to try different things. So, but this calendar brought about changing the covers on my devotionals. So, this little thing here, I'm not going to say that it was a failure because it wasn't. It's kind of like that motto, I never lose. Either I'm going to learn or I'm going to win. And these calendars, even if I have to give them away, which I have been doing, they're going to be in people's homes. They're going to be on people's walls. They're going to be encouraged. They're going to see stuff. They're going to see my name. They're going to see my YouTube channel, stuff like that, that's going to be in here that I give. That's just part of the journey, part of growing, part of learning. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm not quitting. I am not going to quit. So guys, we have definitely been through something the last 2 or 3 years, man. When 2020 came in and the virus hit, it's actually started in 2019, but we really didn't recognize what it was until like around March of 2020. The whole world shut down, the schools shut down, children got sent home, and there was just so much happening. And then we had the riots, and we had the black gentleman that got, murdered basically by the white cop, and it just set the whole world in a deeper turmoil than what we already are. But we should not be shocked and we should not be surprised, especially if you are a child of God and you are a faithful reader. These things and these times are coming. We need to have like a Daniel anointing. He understood seasons and times. And Ishkar, the Bible actually says that Ishkar understood seasons and times. And Daniel did too. And we are his children, so we shouldn't be ignorant of these things. And I'm not on here to be a party pooper or to bust anybody's balloons, but this world is not going to get any better. The wickedness is going to get more wicked. Things are going to get worse and worse as the coming of the Lord gets closer and closer. That's just Bible. We're not going to pray that away. We're not going to prophesy that away. We're not going to fast that away. The word is the word, and it's going to stand, and it's going to come to pass. What we have to do as children of God, we have to get in the place that we're supposed to be, that we will be under the shadow of the Almighty. Now, it rains on the just and the unjust alike. You know as well as I do. There were faithful men and women of God that died from the virus. We're not above it. We're not exempt from life happening to us. That's why it behooves us to be ready at all times. But I also feel like the more knowledgeable we are of the Word, the more we know God's plan, the more we seek His plan, we can also counteract things that the devil has set out to destroy us with. And yes, there's an appointed time for us to go the way of the grave. I believe that with all my heart. But the Bible also tells us that we can die before our time. It also tells us that we can add days to our life. You know, one of the commandments about children obey your parents. By doing this, you can add years to your life. That's the first commandment. That's one of the commandments with a promise. You know, so I do believe that sometimes we, even some of the ones that are going to make it to heaven, have lived beneath what they could have been living in. And some died before their time. And some of their family members died before their time. You know, but then there were some that God just said, it is your time. And you know, He's God, He's sovereign. And yeah, we have questions. We have questions, and we will question Him. And I believe with all my heart, against a lot of teaching that we was taught, don't ever question God. You know, Job questioned God. Now God set him in his place. But we're humans, and we don't understand. And I believe it's okay to ask God, God, I don't understand this. Why did this one live and this one die? What made up the difference, you know? And if there was a difference, show it to me. If I can do something about this later in my life, then show me. So, you know, there's just so many things that we need to grow in and that we can learn in as we grow in God. So here we are in 2022, and I just wanted to kind of share some things with you. I have took 3 computer classes over the last year and a half. I'm not taking one this year. I'm going to kind of press into the devotionals now, and I'm almost through with my 3rd one, like I said. And I'm hoping that without going, since I'm not going to school this year, that I'll be able to get a couple of more out. I would really like to see 3 more done this year, but I'm going to really shoot for 2 more and have at least 5. My goal is to have 12 devotionals before it's over with, by the time I'm through. And somewhere over the next few years, the next 1, 2, 3 years, not sure, I want to write A Life After the Mistake 2. I want to write, you know, a series, not necessarily a series, but a Life After the Mistake 2. The journey continues, and how we've embarked in new and more and things like that. So we're just growing here, guys. We're just reaching, we're seeking, just seeking after the Lord for the words to know what to do in this season. I heard here a few months ago, and it really resonated with me. And when it did, I felt like God, you know, was dropping it in my spirit, and it was for me at the time. I was watching a YouTube video, and this woman that was speaking, she said she'd had a mentor. Now, she's in her 50s, and this was when she first started in ministry, maybe in her 20s. But they could tell that she had a great calling on her life, and that she was going to do a lot of great things, and that she was going to have a lot of platforms and was going to be speaking, you know, to lots of people over the years. And the mentor told her, said, keep your sails trimmed. Keep your sails trimmed, but keep the fan unplugged. And it was like, now this kind of come to me at the end of September, the first week of October of 2021. You know, and all this time I had been doing things, trying to make things happen, all in the name of asking, seeking, and knocking. I wasn't trying to make something of myself. I was just trying to show God that I was willing to put in the work, that I was willing to ask, I was willing to seek, and I was willing to knock on them doors and say, hey, can I come to your store and have a book signing? You know, the library, I reached out to the library. They said I could come and have a book signing. But for some reason, God come in and said, keep your sails trimmed, but keep the fan unplugged. In other words, Let God's wind take my ship where it needs to go. And I might have already shared that once on here, and if I did, please forgive me. I'm just kind of, like I say, I'm just reflecting back, and every year since 2017, I have prayed for a word, and, like a word to carry me through. And I'd never heard of that before, but one day I got on Facebook, and one of my friends that I was newly acquainted with said that God had gave her a word for that year, and her husband died that year. And so I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to start praying and asking God, for a word, a quote, something that I can kind of lean into. And so I started praying, and sure enough, before 2018, God gave me the word, new beginnings. He dropped that in my spirit, new beginnings. 2018 in February, me and my husband come to Blytheville, Arkansas, started a work, and the name of the church is New Beginnings House of Prayer. So I was like, oh my goodness. So all that year was new beginning, and so many new beginnings was for us. And then I went into 2019 with the word flourish. And it seemed like that's when I began to flourish. I began to kind of advance in things and learning things and writing my book and just seeking after those kind of things. Connections began to happen for me. And then I went into 2020, and that was the year I felt like the word that I got that for that year was the year of completion. It was the year of completion. So I completed my book that year. I completed several things that year. I was in a Toastmasters meeting, a Toastmasters club, and I had did a I can't think, a pathway, what they call it, a pathway, in like a program. I completed that. I completed a live coaching course online. I completed a thing, and I think it was, I completed my book. I completed I completed this one in 2020. I was just several things, and I completed I completed a computer class. There was just a lot of things that was completed that year. And then I went into 2021, and I really didn't have a word when 2021 first started. I really didn't have a word. I was just still seeking, and I think around the end of January, around the 1st of February, I had wrote some words out, clear direction and ordered steps. And it was like the Lord said, that's your words for this year, that I'm going to give you clear direction and I'm going to order your steps. And so he did. I mean, you talking about a year of clear direction and ordered steps. He did it. He did it. Like I say, I came in, and in my heart, I wanted to do a calendar, and they didn't sell, not like I thought they would. And I put a lot of money in them, a lot of time. They're beautiful. The lady that designed them, there was nothing wrong with the design, but I can tell you, God didn't tell me to do these. This was just something that I wanted to do. So he wasn't obligated to let them find favor or to let me sell them. But again, it's just part of the growing process. I wouldn't undo it. I wouldn't undo it. I would not undo it, because you know what? I've learned that next year I probably won't do no more calendars with the years. I won't do no more calendars with the years. Maybe in 4 or 5 years I might do it again. If things have advanced the way that I see them advancing or the way that I want them to advance, I might make another calendar and put a year on it. I don't know. But right now, I'm kind of got a little something in my mind about making those, those little calendars that they're table calendars. They sit on a counter, and they're just little, and you just flip the page, and you don't really have a year. You just have a date, like January the 1st, January the 2nd, January the 3rd, and you don't put days on them, and you don't put a year on them. That way they can be used over and over and over. And if I don't sell them all next year, I can sell them possibly, or this year, I can sell them in 2023. Not for sure that I'm going to do that yet, but that's something in my mind. I want to get my first book done. I want to get it done in Audible. I want it to be available in Audible. It's an ebook. That was another thing that I wanted to do in 2021, and I did it. I had it wrote down. I revised this book and gave it my own ISBN number, which is an International Standard Book number, so that I could take my book and put it anywhere I wanted to. Because when I first published it, I took a free ISBN number from KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing on Amazon, which was okay. That was the season that I was in. But I found out later that by taking that free number, I could not take my book anywhere else. So I set out a go and set in and purchased a group or purchased a bulk of ISBNs so that I could have them, because I knew that I was fixing to be writing these devotionals, and that way I'd have my own numbers and I could put them anywhere I wanted to. And this book here got revised, and I gave it my own ISBN number, and actually went and published it on a place called Ingram Spark, where they take it and they publish it wide. They go, worldwide. 40-something thousand publishing places, or places that you can buy books. That's where they put them. And one of the places that it's at is Barnes & Noble. That was one of my goals, was to get my book on Barnes & Noble. Now, it's not in the store, but it's on their online platform where you can order it. So, guys, I'm nowhere where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I was. And again, I just want to encourage you today. If you've got something in your heart, you got something that you long to do, you've just got to start. You've just got to start. And then let God guide you. Now, there's been some things that I was going to do, and God said no, and I backed up and didn't do it. Some things, like the calendar, I think He just said, that's up to you. If you want to get a calendar made from your B Ministries, you can do it. But I'm not telling you that's what I'm telling you to do. So you know what? We're growing. It's a journey. It's a journey. And I will probably be doing this till the day I die. I will always be be on my journey to, destiny is really not a place. It's just a journey. The calling of God is going to always be there. It's always going to be pulling on you to do something. And I heard something now. I've been on here 23 minutes. I don't really like going more than 15, 20 minutes. But this is just a reflection video that I want to share for the year. I've not been on here in about 3 weeks. Now, I didn't do nothing the third week of December, the Christmas week, or New Year's week. Just a little quick recap. I was in a tornado in Leachfield, Arkansas, December the 10th when it came through, and I was at my daughter's babysitting, and so that kind of throwed us off, because they lost power, and they didn't have power for about 5 days, so they had to come over here to Blytheville and stay with us for about 5 days, and so it just kind of threw me off on a lot of stuff of my scheduling, my videos and things like that, but that's okay. I'm not messed up about it. My life is in God's hand, and my times are in His hands, and my steps are ordered by Him. So you know what? I'm back on here today. I'm doing it a reflection over 2019, 2020, 2021, and here we are in 2022, moving forward. And so that's what I want to do. I just want to grow. I want to do some things for God this year, and just keep moving. Just keep going on. Again, I'm not trying to write books to be famous. I'm not trying to write books so I'll be a millionaire. I'm writing because I want to grow in God. I want to do something for God. I want to leave an impact. I want to leave something that people, friends, and different ones can remember me by. But I'm going to get off here today, guys, and I think I was fixing to go somewhere with something, and I guess it slipped my mind. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, and if you've enjoyed my videos, if you want to go back and binge watch them, I'm sure that I have over 100 videos that you can watch from way back till now. I've read my books. I read through this book. I've read through this devotional, and I've been reading through this devotional. And so I will be, I'll probably next week go back to reading this because I don't like much. But just kind of wanted to encourage you today, to go ahead and move forward. Oh, I know what it was that I was going to share. I'd heard something earlier. You can plow. We can always plow the fields. We're gonna always plow, but don't let us miss our mantle moment. You know, we need to be plowing for sure. I believe God expects us to do what we can do, but there is an anointing. There's a mantle that comes from God of purpose and destiny that I believe that we should be searching for and tapping into. To say that I have arrived, no, but I know one thing. I feel so fulfilled. I feel so much purpose in my life. Again, I'm not doing all the things that I want to do yet. I don't see the things that I can see in my spirit and heart just yet. But I feel that purpose and I feel fulfilled. So I love you guys. If you've watched to this end, if you've watched this far in, I really appreciate you. I'm asking you to subscribe to my channel. Like it, share it, comment on it. I will put in the description box below my author's page from the Amazon thing, my books, and some of the stuff that I'm doing. And guys, just, stay tuned and watch. Some more videos are coming out. More books are coming out. And I encourage you, do something today. Do something that will make you feel fulfilled in your life. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great week. Have a great year. Remember what I usually end my videos with. Stay strong in the Lord. Stay close to God. Stay prayed up. Because time is running out. I'll see y'all next week, guys.